Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and I'll be taking a look at Wave 19 of the Warlords of Wor. So let's just jump right into it. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the newest wave of Warlords of Wor. Now honestly, this is a small wave, only 3 figures, but to be honest, this might be one of my favorite waves ever. Because for those of you that don't know, this whole wave is, an homage to that old Kenner Swamp Thing toy line. Now, the Kenner Swamp Thing toy line, in my opinion, is iconic. It is one of the all-time greatest toy lines, in my personal opinion. When I was a kid, me and my cousins were obsessed, and we always played with our Swamp Thing figures in the dirt and in the grass in the backyards and things like that. We would take them to the lakes and play with them there. I mean, I love that old toy line. So seeing these, it's freaking incredible. And I think Man or Monster did an incredible job with these, man. So we're going to take a look with at Bognar here first. Now, this is Capture Bognar. First of all, the colors are incredible. That super deep saturated green, I just think looks so nice. I love the color here. That Pantone is just great, man. I'm really happy with how that turned out. You have his brown techno shears right there, which is really good. And I just love the eyes with that red, yellow eyes like that, the off-white teeth kind of showing through. But then you get that dirtiness muck wash over the whole figure. I think it looks great. And I don't know, is it just me? Does anyone else put like these bolo weapon type arm attachment things on his back? I do that with pretty much all my Bognars. I don't know, it just works for you back there. Of course you can put it on the arm, and that's mainly what it's for. But I like having them on the back. But again, this just looks so freaking good, man. Again, those colors are just hitting. They are very different from any other glyos and Warlords of Wor figure we've seen in the past, again with that dirty wash, so it makes it feel extra swampy and things like that, you know what I mean? So I dig that. So you can see all the different parts that he comes with, again in that same awesome looking green. All the different hands and parts and heads and things like that all have that dirtiness to it, which I think are great. But this is Capture Bognar, and you can see that he also does come with a net. And I love the little net that he comes with. That's a really cool inclusion. It's just a little strip of net. I think it's a lot of fun. What I've been kind of doing here, kind of like bunching it up towards the front or towards an end, and then feeding it through the top like that, and kind of trying to get it to feed through the hand. And it can be a little tricky, but you can do it. And then you just pull through like that. There you go. And you can have him holding his net like he's getting ready to toss it and capture some of those evil mutants. Next up, we have the Flare, which is a really cool homage, again, to another vintage Swamp Thing Kenner toy, which I think looks great. This is done as one of the villains, which I picked it up right away when I saw these colors. I was like, yeah, dude, that is hitting perfectly. And it's a Necroid, man. At this point, we have a ton of Necroids, and how do you not like zombies? You could just have a full zombie army at this point if you've been collecting long enough. Or if you want an army build, you know what I mean? I think these are great. But I love, again, the colors look awesome. Almost like a very pale gray with a hint of green in it. I'd really dig that a lot. And then you got the blue like vines coming through, and the colors here are very desaturated, so I do dig that. Then you can see he has like torn pants and things going across there. And then the necro shears, or the techno shears, I was like having them upside down just because he's a zombie, so I feel like he's like dragging them along as he's my boy took a stumble. He's a zombie. He's fine. He's not exactly technically dead or alive, so whatever. Anyways, but still I think he's super cool looking. So here's the thing with this one. This is a deluxe figure, and you can see all the different parts that we get with this guy. I mean, you get all the standard like Bognar parts and things like that, but you could also see the different translucent pieces that we get as well, done in that really nice translucent green, because these figures, again, from the vintage toy line, had this really cool gimmick where you could put this crazy mutant thing, translucent head topper piece to make them look even more wild, like they were mutating into some crazy creatures. And that's pretty cool how they, you know, redid that gimmick in glyos form in a very genius way. So a couple things I want to swap out here. I just want to put up the Bognar head because Bognar is my boy, and I always love getting a new Bognar. So I want to show you that head sculpt. Nice up and close like that. Let me lighten that up a bit. I think that looks really cool too. You know, if you just want another cool Bognar, I'm all for that, man. I love having another Bognar in any form we could get him, so that looks really cool. But this is what you really want here. And again, this recreates that vintage toy gimmick, which I think is just great. Again, instead of having the full-on head topper that would just slide on over the head, they gave us translucent, you know, interchangeable heads. You got those wings if you want. I went and get a head, excuse me, and gave him a translucent green sword to just build out the translucency of that stuff. I mean, come on, man. Translucent toys are the best, right? So I think that is super cool. So unique, so awesome. I think they did an incredible job, just the thought process of doing that. You know, how would you recreate that gimmick in glyos form? You know, this is genius. I think it's awesome, and I love it so much. And lastly, we're going to take a look at Herbicide here. And again, if you know that vintage line, these colors are so iconic. As soon as I saw the color scheme, I was like, yeah, dude, right in my childhood feels. I love it so much. So again, the orange jumpsuit just looks fantastic with those really nice turquoise blue arms. I think look great. The polished black, those big yellow eyes on the helmet there just is perfect. I love it so much. Then you got a green blaster. I just think this looks so cool, man. Again, oh my God, this is legit one of my favorite waves ever, I think. It just looks so good. Now again, much like the previous figure, this is a deluxe figure and he comes with a ton of different things. So you can see he comes with all the parts that you would get with your standard like clobber-like figure. You know, those different types of heads, the arm attachments, the green weapons, all that kind of stuff. But then we get all kinds of extra things done in that blue, that translucent blue that looks incredible. By the way, you got the wings, the axe and sword, all those different heads. I mean, again, really cool stuff here. You really get a lot of play with these guys. Again, these do recreate that same gimmick with the head topper and things like that. Now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do a little pop and swap here. We're going to take these pieces off like that, because this is some, again, I've been wanting to try and just do a little more part swaps during my videos. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clobber arms on like this, get this on like that, and then we're going to get the fist and put the fist on as well, like that. Let's go ahead and put those on. I love the little bits of green on there. And then I'm going to take the Eliped head, because damn, like I've said many times before, that Eliped head is one of my favorite head sculpts in all of glyos. And there you go. Now we have a really cool alternate look for this character. Again, the green built into the claw arms like that. I love the light blue into that deeper blue with the orange eyes and the off-white fangs. I think that looks really badass, man. Such a cool looking character. But again, to get that really cool retro gimmick feel, you gotta put on the translucent pieces here. You know, I put on the wings. I put a really cool, you know, Cthulhu type head on there, which just looks fantastic. I went again and gave him the translucent axe. Again, translucent toys rock, man. I don't give a damn what anyone else says. Translucent toys, sparkly toys, shiny toys are the coolest. And this just makes this figure pop even more. Again, this makes me so happy. It really, really does. And it kind of makes me remember that I don't have the vintage toy of this. Now I got to go ahead and buy that. So, yeah, shout out to Spy Monkey for making me spend even more money. But this is awesome, dude. Such a cool looking, unique design. Just a lot of fun. And I'm really happy with the way all of these turned out.
So there it is, guys. My look at Wave 19 of the Warlords of Wor. And again, this might be one of my favorite waves of all time, just because I absolutely love that old Kenner Swamp Thing toy line. It holds a special place in my heart, and I will forever love it. And hey, if you have any of those previous Kenner homage figures from Warlords of Wor, I mean, you have a pretty good lineup of Bognars here that look really rad. All of these are fun toys. Again, I love the extra gimmick of the translucent pieces to recreate that vintage gimmick. I think it's so cool what they did here. I love the different colors. The translucent green and blue pop as something special, and I really dig that dark, dirty wash on the Bognar. The fact that he comes with a net is genius. These are such fun toys, and for me, they are definitely a must get. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.